There is one of our sisters, Sister Julieta Espinosa, from the church in Palms Garden, who also has a testimony that she wants to talk about. For the glory of the Lord, our sister shall take the liberty, and may the Lord be the one to bless her, in the name of the Lord. For the glory of the Lord, this is my testimony. I'm going to tell you part of the year of 2017, how the Lord began to prepare me without me knowing it. I remember, I'm going to tell you like this. I saw a lot of movement because I live some meters away from this temple. I saw a lot of movement. So I got a chair and sat outside on my patio, and I began to observe everything that was happening. I heard them say, "The apostle of the Lord is coming." He hadn't come yet, and I, reluctant and rude, offended some of the sisters, saying, "Do you not have anything better to do?" Brethren, allow me to tell you that I wanted to stand up from my chair, but I was never able to. I was never able to stand up from my chair. Without knowing it, I had the great fortune of the car passing by and the hand waving. I didn't know who it was. From there on, brethren, many struggles came. I already had such strong struggles, too strong against my life. 3 attempts of suicide. But no, I couldn't manage to take my life. I never succeeded. An infarction, and neither with that. I lived my life only complaining about why I was born to only suffer ever since I was a little girl, that my life was nothing but suffering. I drowned myself in every vice there was. I was an alcoholic, an embarrassment for my family. My family ignored many things I did. The world already had me in its hands. In 2017, 3 days before, in 2018, 3 days before there was a reminder that the apostle had come to this temple, my nephew of only 11 years old told me, "Mom, I'm going to church." On one side of us there is a Catholic church. I thought that was where he was going. I never instilled in them any religion, not one, but I looked and looked into various ones. So he went. The following day, the same thing happened. He grabbed me and told me, "Mom, I'm going to church." I said, "Okay." When he returned, I saw that he came from the opposite side, and it bothered me very much. I yelled at him and said, "Don't you see what they're doing to us? What's happening to us? Why are you coming from that side all by yourself? They could have taken you or something." I asked him, "Where did you go?" He said, "To the church." "But the church is on the other side." He said, "No, I went to the church, the light of the world." I said, "Who invited you? Who took you? Why are you by yourself?" He said, "Nobody invited me, Mom." For a while I stood serious. Then I asked him, "What do they do there? What do they do?" He said, "If you want to know, go see for yourself." That was all he said. On the 3rd day, I had such a strong problem that I couldn't be at peace anymore. I was in my room. I grabbed and prepared various pills that were given to me for the kidneys, for the liver, many kinds of pills, whatever I can find. I prepared them. I had already spoken to my daughter Mixie. She was on the side. I told her not to get involved, to not do anything. She was shedding tears. I was getting ready when I heard a knock on the door. I looked through the window, and it was a group of sisters. I still said I didn't want to come out because I was already about to take my life. But I had to come out with my hand full of pills. I came out and they saluted me. There was a sister who said some words that I'll never forget. She said she had a message from the apostle of God, that my time had come. I thought, how is it possible? How did they know that I was going to take my life at this moment? But at that moment, brethren, I felt a heat from my feet all the way to my head. But it was burning me that I fell because it was burning me. So they came inside. I was crying and crying that I didn't hear anything they said. Brethren, the only thing I remember them saying to me was that there was a prayer at 6 in the evening. On that same day, I got ready and went to the evening prayer at 6. When I stepped onto the first step of the temple, something burned me. Something beautiful. It was something beautiful. I was crying. There wasn't much that was spoken to me. Nobody preached to me. I attended the prayers on my own. Nobody forced me. But the happiness that you feel inside, I suffered so much, so much. But this was such a beautiful feeling that there are still no words to explain. There are no words. Every day that I attended, brethren. On July 22nd, 2018, was the day I asked to be baptized. I asked for it because I felt something was missing. Something was missing. Something. It was such a beautiful feeling. So pretty. I went through a difficult struggle, a huge struggle, brethren, because I was from the world. I practiced so many bad things. All the evil things didn't want to let me go. It didn't let me go easily. It didn't let me go. But now I don't struggle alone. Now I have someone who struggles with me. Now my problems are more tranquil. Now I take things with ease. All of the suffering I was dragging since I was a child came to an end. The day of my revival, I received the Holy Spirit. I received for the glory of God on July 25th. It was such a marvelous thing. Something that was beautiful. I felt like I was flying. Still, in my ignorance, I said, my God, having the church so close to me, why would you let me suffer so much? Why didn't you call me a long time ago as a teenager to serve you? But I had to understand that He has His time. He has His time. That same year, brethren, I arrived at the Holy Supper, my first Holy Supper. Something very beautiful happened. I was told that the brother back then would be waiting for me, and I would have the blessing to enter the temple. I started to feel something so beautiful, so beautiful. I entered the temple, but it was as if it wasn't the temple. It was like another dimension, like I entered another dimension. I wasn't down here, I was above. And somebody was showing me everything. There were angels kneeling down, a choir of angels singing. I was able to ask my Father. I said, Lord, I have my children. But I asked especially for one of them, Mixie, Sister Mixie. I said to Him, I would like her to join me because you know that I did much harm to her. Ever since she was very little, she would take care of me. In the early morning, she would go out and look for me, as little as she was, the both of them. I want her with me because she was always looking out for me. She was like my nurse. I said to Him, like my nurse. Bring her with me, Lord. Do the work in her, Lord. My Father responded quickly. It wasn't long. It wasn't long, brethren. She came. She began to listen. She was baptized. She received the Holy Spirit. Brethren, this is part of my testimony that I share with you for the glory of the Lord.